Filing mechanics lien is the best way to cut down the amount of time it takes for you to get paid in construction. But occasionally, getting paid requires a bit more muscle to foreclose on a lien. The good news is that lien foreclosures are relatively rare. However, since they're so uncommon, there's a lot of mystery surrounding the actual process. In this video, we'll help clear up some of the more foggy details so you know what to expect in a foreclosure. If you haven't yet, like this video and consider subscribing. When would you foreclose on a mechanics lien? There are several reasons to foreclose. The property owner might be completely upside down financially, and they simply can't make the payment. In other cases, they may feel that your mechanics lien just has no merit, so they may want to try their hand in court. When you foreclose on a lien, you're filing a civil lawsuit that could force the sale of the property. Filing a lien foreclosure lawsuit can be a bit of a balancing act, when you can accidentally wait too long, or you could jump the gun. Every state has a deadline for when you need to file your lien, but they also have deadlines for when you need to enforce or foreclose upon your lien. Don't foreclose too soon though. If you foreclose right away, you aren't giving the owner an opportunity to make good on the amount that they owe you. Lien foreclosures can be a bit complicated, but it doesn't have to be if you follow these steps. Step 1, file your mechanics lien claim. After all, you can't foreclose on a lien if you don't have one in the first place. Make sure you know and understand the guidelines in your state for filing a mechanics lien. Click the link above. Step 2, send your notices. After filing a mechanics lien, a copy of the lien is typically required to be sent to the property owner. Often the owner, the GC, or a representative of theirs, usually an attorney, will reach out to you and try to make things right, and that's a win. But if time goes by and you're experiencing radio silence, it might be time to send a notice of intent to foreclose. This notice can serve as a final warning shot to let the owner and the GC know that you're ready to foreclose on the lien. Some states require a notice of intent to foreclose before you can even start the foreclosure process, while others don't. Sometimes this notice is all it takes to get the ball rolling on your payments, and it could save you a lot of time, money, and headaches. Step 3, hire a lawyer. Foreclosing on a lien claim is a lawsuit, and it's not something you should do on your own, unless of course you moonlight as a lawyer. But you do have the right to represent yourself in most jurisdictions if you feel so inclined. You're probably going to have to come up with the upfront cash for a retainer to secure an attorney. The good news is that in many states, you can actually recover attorney fees and other costs associated with a successful foreclosure lawsuit. Step 4, prepare and file your case. Once you hire a lawyer, it's their job to prepare the case for court. However, you're probably going to have to help them out. Your lawyer will want all the documentation you have since the very beginning of the project. This includes documents like bids, signed contracts, preliminary notices, payment applications, records, payment reminders, and as well as all your lien documents. Your lawyer might also find it helpful if you supply some pictures that clearly show your progress on the project, as well as any damages or issues that the owner could be claiming to hold up payment. Once your case is ready to go, your lawyer will file it with the appropriate court. Step 5, serving the owners. With your court case filed in the appropriate court, you're ready to serve your lawsuit on the property owner. To serve a lawsuit legally, it needs to be in person and handed directly to the defendant, usually by a sheriff, marshal, or a private process server. You can't just leave it underneath their windshield wiper in a parking lot or stuff it in their mail slot in front of their door. Be sure to serve all of the owners. If there's more than one owner involved, a silent partner, even neglecting to serve them could hold up your case. Step 6, wait for your day in court. Once you serve the defendant your court case, it's a waiting game. Some states allow you to recover additional expenses in foreclosure, like fees for your lawyer, as well as any interest on past due payments, which could help recoup some of the cash spent on credit interest and legal consultations during this long holding pattern. You might even find that this is the point where the owner starts communicating. It's entirely possible that you can settle outside of court, which would be in the best interest of all parties. Step 7, collecting on your judgment. Once you have your day in court and emerge victoriously, your mechanics lien turns into a judgment lien. But your job isn't done yet. Next task, and it can be a big one, is actually collecting on that judgment. Collecting on a judgment can be just as challenging as navigating the foreclosure process. But know that there's a chance that the debtor won't just hand over that judgment money, in which case you might need to enlist the help of a collection expert. There are some things you need to consider before foreclosing on a lien. Is the foreclosure worth it? Is it worth your time, money, and effort? Here are some factors that can help you figure that out. A, the amount owed to you. You may need to consider how much money the property owner owes you. Filing a lawsuit is expensive, and even though most courts will award legal fees to the winner in a lien judgment case, that only helps you if you win. And if you lose, the lawyer and the court fees are on you. Even if your case is a lock, you need to consider how much money is at stake. It's only a few $1,000s, you might find that the time and energy just aren't worth it. Instead, you can decide to just write off that bad debt to reduce your tax burden and make it a better financial option for you. B, the equity in the property. Most property owners carry mortgages. That mortgage is technically a lien, and in most cases, the first in time, first in right standard applies. That means the mortgage company will take their share of the sale proceeds to satisfy the original lien or mortgage before you can touch what's left. The owner owes back taxes, Uncle Sam takes his share first, even before the bank. If there are other liens in place from other contractors, they might come before yours as well. Foreclosing on a lien on a property without the equity to support it could be an expensive and time-consuming mistake. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing.